my supervisor at the mental health clinic where I worked asked me what my goals were for the next year. And when I looked at him kind of blankly, like, what do you mean goals? They're always the same, to take care of the patients. And he said, no, I mean changes, things that you want to happen. And I thought, well, no, I don't really have. He says, do you know what the difference between goals and dreams are? And I said, not particularly, why? And he said, well, in the beginning, they're the same. Say somebody has the idea that they want to be a painter. If they go to art school or go to the art supply place and pick up all this stuff and start working on it, that's a goal. If they just think about it and dream about it, that's a dream. Has nothing to do with reality. And I thought that this was kind of funny, because it is something that I had been thinking about for a long, long time in my life. I can remember when my children were, 10 and 12 maybe not quite that old, maybe 8 and 10. I distinctly remember laying on my bed and watching television, WQED, and they had Bob Ross on, and he painted his mountains and his lakes and his waterfalls and his happy little tree where the squirrel's going to live. And I thought, my God, I wish I could do that. That looks like so much fun. And in a half hour, and in reality, 24 minutes, he got this painting done. Really? I thought it took forever to make a painting. So, but it never really got beyond finding Bob Ross on TV every now and then, or seeing somebody else. There's a couple of other art teachers on TV. And thinking, boy, that's really, that's so cute, that's so cool, that's so... So he said this to me, and I thought, good thought. Then within the next week or two, my husband and I decided that we could each spend $250 on anniversary present for each other. And he asked me what did I want with mine, because we were not going to spend this much money and have it not be entirely appreciated. No. That's silly. You're supposed to be a mind reader and guess what I want exactly. Yeah, that's right. That'll work. Forget about it. So we decided that we could each spend our $250 however we liked. And I said, I'd really like to go to the art store downtown San Francisco. Anyway, we went down there, and Hutch said, I'd love to do art too. So he got stuff to do, drawing and pencils and erasers and how-to books, and I got the equivalent in acrylic painting, which was my... I was going to give it to myself to Bob Ross kind of projects, but I didn't want to mess with oil, which is what he does his in. But acrylic is, it can do it either way. So, and believe it or not, between the two of us, scrambling through these 3 floors of art supplies, spent more than $500 between the two of us. Boy, when I started doing these little paintings, and I bought these little teeny canvas boards because they were cheap. You know, well, my father said, you never say something's cheap when you buy it. You always say it's less expensive than the others. And my paintings were horrible. Just, oh my God, terrible. I wouldn't sign them. They were just, oh. And I love painting lighthouses. Don't know, don't care why. Lighthouse is one of my things. And so I kept on painting them until I was relatively satisfied with this one painting. I'd gotten some waves in nicely and some, and it was about this big. We'd graduated. We were starting to get the, well, not the big canvases, but the big small canvases. And then we continued. But I signed this one. Important point. And later on, years later, I had this painting in my office because I really, really loved it. And people would come into my office and they'd say, oh, I wish I could paint like you. I would always tell them, it's not about wishes, it's about practice. And then I would show them this one that I had a picture of on my computer. I says, this was my first lighthouse painting that I thought was good enough to sign. And the only reason I'm showing it to you is because I want you to know that there's a lot of potential for growth between this and that. And I did it in not too many years. I mean, you just keep on practicing what you want to do and practicing what you want to do. Art has given me a way of doing things, but relaxing things and things that I could share with my husband, connecting things, and also seeing myself grow, seeing my abilities grow. It wasn't just the person in my office that I was showing from the computer to the painting. It was me that was showing it to me. And that was, I made a lot of, well, some people say I'm too full of myself anyway. I have a lot of ways of making sure that I get all of the credit I need to get for doing the things that I've done. I'm not saying that to say that somebody else is worse than me. I'm saying that to say that if I can do it, you can do it. You know, when I went to nursing school, I got A's and B's, and when I went to graduate school, I got mostly A's. That was pretty Yeah, it made life taste good. That's one of the things that drew me into HIV and AIDS nursing. Nurses were bypassing the rooms, and their meals were set on the floor outside of their rooms because they had AIDS.
Right.
And I thought, my God, you know, nurses have taken care of people with infections for years. That's just the way it's supposed to be. So, anyway, it was embarrassing to me to have my profession if that's the way people with AIDS were going to be treated. And that it would be exposed nationally in such a magazine. It would just horrify me. Well, I think I should go take care of those guys because I'm not going to leave it on the floor. Right, I saw the need. I needed to improve it. And on some level, I needed to show off that I was standing up, standing tall for nursing's code of ethics. I wasn't doing everything I could do to get done with my shift and get out of there and right on time. That was not my goal. My first evaluation on the HIV unit in San Francisco where I worked, my supervisor said, "Beverly, I want you to be more organized. You spend a lot of time here after the shift is over, and that's, it's not good." And I said, well, the problem is that I nurse according to Beverly's standards, not according to Mount Zion's standards. So I've got a lot more work to do than you think I do. And I stay late to chart. If there's a horrible day and every nurse on the unit is putting in for a half hour of overtime, I'll put in for a half hour of overtime, even if I'm here 3 hours over. But if nobody else is putting in for overtime, I don't put in for overtime. I'm not here to get paid extra to accommodate me getting my charting done. I'm here to do the job that I want to do.
Right.
She was like, I don't know how I can argue with you.